So I could recommend many, but it feels fraught, you know? So what do you do? How do you pick one?
It's always 99% Invisible. Roman Mars is a brilliant storyteller. He does it with a huge team of people who are, interviewing folk. They're finding found footage. They're lacing music in with it. It's a beauty. I tell people it's an Audible magazine, right? Because it's essentially like you've got pull quotes, you have bylines, you have the narrator telling the story, but there's interviews. It's the best podcast out there.
Well,
let's
I'll let
go.
you go first because I wonder if we'll say the same.
Oh, I wonder.
Well, Doughboys is one of my favorites.
Yeah, Doughboys is one of my favorite podcasts.
I love Doughboys so much. They're so funny, and their dynamic is what really keeps it going. I mean, they talk about fast food chains and interview people, and they eat random foods and stuff and talk about it. But it's really just the way they are together. Nick Weiger and Mike Mitchell and their hosting dynamic.
That's one of my favorite podcasts. Of podcasts I listen to purely for laughs, which is hard to find as someone who's been watching and doing comedy their whole lives.
Yeah.
I have my three that when I get baked I put on are Doughboys, Hollywood Handbook, or The Great Debates.
Oh, wow.
Those
I've never
are
listened to it. I know Hollywood Handbook.
Yeah.
I also love Savage Love, which is all about love and sex.
And my favorite non-comedy one is Reply All. That's a morning of listen every time it comes out.
Well, mine is easy. I think, I'm going to recommend two. I'm going rogue.
Yeah.
I love Another Round. So good. Totally listen to it. It's two friends, two sisters. It's a great, great podcast. And then there's another one, Call Your Girlfriend, which is two friends that are long distance. And one, I don't know, they were friends that lived in the same city, but then one of the friends moved away. And they use the podcast, they record each other on the phone, catching up. But I don't know if it's real or not, but one friend is kind of always like, what's going on? And the other friend's like, girl, what do you mean what's going on with me? Hillary Clinton didn't get elected, and it kind of catches you up on the news.
Yeah.
And then the other friend is like, yeah, but did you see what happened to Kim Ye? And then it catches you up on pop culture. So I love it. And I love the idea of call your girlfriend. What are you doing? What's your favorite African-American podcast?
Well, I love Two Dope Queens. What? I love, you don't think I have black podcasts? Come on now.
You're
Christina.
eyeballs, though.
The podcast I always recommend is Criminal. I love it. And when I listen to it, I feel like I'm in very safe hands with Phoebe Judge. And my guess is that Phoebe Judge is not even aware of me, but if she has ever caught wind of how often I talk about having a crush on her and her podcast, she would be disturbed. She's here this weekend. But I don't even know what she looks like, so I might just have already made her uncomfortable and don't even know. The amount of times that I recommend the Criminal podcast in glowing terms probably has Phoebe Judge thinking that I'm stalking her on some level. I promise I'm not.
I think a really wonderful podcast is Love and Radio.
Ben Adair has been our story editor. In process as we're working on these found episodes, he hears our stories and it kind of helps us isolate how to tell the story the best way. So Ben's got a story called First Time, Last Time, where he interviews people about the first time they've ever done something crazy, like rob a bank, and then the last time they've ever done anything crazy.
A good counter podcast to ours is
the dumbbells. Of course, the dumbbells. You pig out with the Doughboys and you work out with the dumbbells. Ryan Stanger, Eugene Cordero, two very, very funny and very fit men.
Yeah.
They're hunks. They're hunks.
They're the OGs, right? The platinum standard, Serial and This American Life, right?
I really like this podcast, The Dollop, that Dave Anthony and Gareth Reynolds do. It's about history, and it's awesome. When I want to step out of the news, and I follow a ton of politics podcasts and a ton of great ones, but when I want to sort of step out of the news, I'll go to The Dollop a lot. Yeah.
Oh, what is it called? Ear Hustle. Ear Hustle. That's recorded entirely by inmates in San Quentin. The storytelling is really rich in this field, and I'm really proud to be a part of the podcasting community.